Mma Roundhouse. Today we're going to cover the home Carrera UFC card, talk about the BELLATOR NYC pay-per-view, and we'll see what else is up.
Yeah, this was Fight Night Singapore. Early one. Main card started at 8 in the morning. We'll start off with the first fight, which was Rafael Dos Anjos versus Tarek Saffiedine. It was a pretty back and forth fight. RDA dominated every round though.
Yeah.
His jits was dominant as usual. Kept him down, beat him up a little.
I hoped for more out of Saffiedine. In my head, I was like, yeah, Saffiedine's gonna.
Yeah, I thought
really show him something.
I really thought before the fight that he was gonna give him a run for his money, but
RDA is always in tremendous shape, which changes everybody's game plan, right?
yeah.
Yeah, it must be hard to stay in. I mean, when you love it, you love it. It seems like it's so hard to stay in that perfect shape. Like I said though, I thought Saffiedine would do something a little more than he did. And in any case, what did that go to? Unanimous.
Yep, and our next fight was Colby Covington versus Dong Hyun Kim, the stun gun. I was actually surprised. I was another one I was expecting to win.
Absolutely.
He didn't look like himself in there though. No real big judo throws or whatever that you usually always see him hitting on people. Colby, I mean, he put a beating on him. He was beating him up, putting him against the cage. He looked actually really good.
Are we gonna hear that Dong got hurt? Do you think? Maybe during the fight, maybe pre-build up in the camp. What do you guys think? I think it seems to me we're gonna hear something like that.
Yeah, he did. Like I said,
I don't think he's ever done it before.
No, and well, he's kind of never. This is. I mean, let's give some credit to Colby, but I mean, it just if he came out and said, yeah, I cracked a rib, or I don't know, something, I could say, oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly, because it did look like he might have been hurt. And with that being said, Colby won unanimous decision. A lot of decisions tonight, people.
Hence why I'm yawning.
Next one was Marcin Tybura versus Andre Arlovski. This was actually a good fight. I think Marcin once he figured out he could take Arlovski down, he just really wrestled him down, threw some punches, stayed active, wasn't that exciting. Second round, Arlovski put it on him, stopped the takedown, was landing some nice shots. And then third round, guy knew it was 1-1, I'm assuming, and just worked for that takedown till he got it, and just wrestled him the whole fight. Landed a few shots, but he won on the point game, I think, what I like to call. But he did what he had to do to win. So, but Arlovski, I don't know. He's number 7 in the heavyweight, and that division's looking pretty stacked lately. So I don't know if he's gonna stick around in the top 10 after this loss.
Can he go on another run? I think is the biggest question. And I guess after last night we're gonna say no. Not like
I know he left Jackson Winklejohn
right,
too for this fight.
But I think that was like because of traveling.
Mm-hmm.
No, exactly.
He had some stuff going on in his life.
Anytime we hear that they changed camps, we hate to hear that. I mean, unless they come and they do something amazing. But I hope, like you said, he's number 7, and that's not bad. So I mean, like I always say, I love the older guys. I've been doing this for a long time. This here UFC fan, it's hard to see the old guys have to go out to pasture. And fought a tough decision. He's not ready yet. I say give him a couple more fights before we even talk about that. Once again, no disrespect to Tybura, and he put on a great fight. He was definitely ahead of Arlovski the whole time. Unfortunately, Arlovski looked great though, but it's like it comes on and it goes away. It comes on and it goes away.
Yeah.
Whereas that Arlovski, remember way back, we remember the Tim Sylvia battles between him, the trilogy. Oh geez, way back in the day, those were the fights. That takes a lot out of him. Right. He earned it. Right.
He really hasn't had a stellar fight. Even the Travis Brown one, didn't they
Even
knock
the
each other
ones,
back and
yeah.
forth, and that's not too healthy.
As far as saying like, oh, I'm dominant now. Well, we can only hope that he. I mean, it's not like I don't even want UFC to give him cans because they weren't, and he was doing pretty good. I don't know. He's my man. Let's hope for better things next. Keep it up, Arlovsky. You're still the pitbull.
And our main event was Holm versus Correa. And this honestly was kind of a boring fight until that head kick. A lot of patty caking in the first round to the point where the ref stopped and said, I need action from you guys. I respect your game plans, but we need some action. And second round, I mean, Holm landed some shots. Correa went for a few takedowns. Other than that, it was a lot of back and forth. Holly was trying to work her counter punching, but Beth wasn't coming in close enough to punch. It was, I don't know, maybe respect, I guess, by both of them for, you know, and
Well, she wanted to get her into her game plan. We see that. I hate saying this. It's going to sound horrible, but a lot of fighters do this, but it just seems like a lot more Brazilian fighters do it. Here's my game plan, and I guess I'm saying this because we're doing when he sat there on the ground and begged, what's his name, to come in. Please come down here. It's like, stand the hell up and let's fight, guy. This is MMA. And I think Betch was trying to do a little bit of that. We seen, right before the end, she did this. Look, unless your name is Diaz or McGregor, I mean, or maybe now Cody, I don't like to see a lot of that.
no,
It caught Spider. It caught Betch last night.
it did. And that was the following punch after the head kick really sealed the deal, but beautiful head kick by Holm.
Yeah, it's
well timed, well placed. She knew and
Right. Good for Betch to have like the peace of mind to at least catch herself with her hand, which caught her perfectly for Holm to come in and blast her one more great time. And look, that's why we like the fights. We like to see people get punched in the face. As horrible and mean as that sounds, it's fun to watch. That's why I'm a fan. That's why I like NASCAR, because I like car crashes. I mean, that's just the reality. She took a good one when she landed on her feet. I mean, on her hands. And hey, listen, don't be showboating. I love showboating as much as the next guy. When it works, when it don't work, it's for all of us fans, like I say a lot, on the couch to make fun of you. And she looked like a fool shortly after.
That's another reason why you don't move your hands or use your arms. You use your whole body to to set up the fakes and the feints.
Yep.
She was just doing this, in which case she just timed it. The last
exactly, it was all timed.
Set up her own
Holm
device.
knew what she was. I mean, she kickboxed for years. I mean, her MMA record's low, but don't get me wrong, that lady's been in some scrap.
It's a great
And I want to say that was her 7th or 8th head kick knockout in her career. I mean, look out for that thing.
Right.
Unfortunately, the division, when you have somebody lurking like Cyborg,
Who was fighting Megan Anderson, the
she's the only one that
champ.
can make. You got the 145-pound champ who beat Holly, which was, how many times did she hit her after the bell, right? Granted, she was engaged in the action, but she could have pulled it.
A couple shots, okay, sure.
And then you have her running back to the 135. It just discredits the whole division. Ronda Rousey discredited the whole division. Who's gonna step up and honestly be their champ, right? Who's gonna be their?
I would have loved to see Ronda take the loss
Yeah,
and
but
say I
Nunez
lost and
was
move
gonna
on.
fight
Sorry, girl.
Cyborg, which would have brought legitimacy to. Now you have a champ who, if she wins or loses, if it's a good fight against Cyborg, will fight anybody anytime. Now she said, no, I don't want that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's going to fight somebody who she already beat, right? Beat her the first. It's like, guys, if you want legitimacy, you've got to step
She's
up.
afraid
and
to fight Cyborg, though. That's
And I'm
the thing.
sure
She just
Cyborg has a
vacated
bunch
her
of
whole
fighters that
belt
she could
and
bring
said,
in. They're keeping her at bay.
I get it. At first, I was gonna be the jerk and be like, "What's up with this weird Brazilian stuff where they do?" I'm not trying to get on Brazilians today. I'm really not gonna. What's up with this weird stuff where they got this respect? But then she kind of sideswiped it and made it like it was kind of rude. Like, I don't want to fight the steroid freak guy. Blah blah.
Come on, man, get
But
over it.
come on.
Seriously.
yeah.
Listen, if you're on steroids or HGH or test or whatever we all talk about, you're getting away with it. you're doing some special shit that nobody knows about.
They're terrified of her. If it was Cyborg wasn't great at what she does.
Exactly.
Her technique when she comes in and the level changes. I gotta say, out of everybody besides Connor, she's the best fighter.
She is a technician.
I mean, you're talking about better than men. Technique better than men.
What are you always telling us? What are you always drilling down our heads? Movement. She's great at it. Her.
The level changes.
Yeah.
And when she comes in, the way she dips her punches, and finishes opponents, it's incredible. They get hit like 3-4 times from the leg up, as they're hitting the ground, and she's coming down on top of them in position.
Right. Most people
magic,
like,
man. That's not steroids, by the way.
Not
like,
that.
She'll get
not only
come
that,
in.
her fucking jujitsu is legit
for
too.
sure.
It
Of course.
is. Cyborg, don't let her fool you. She's got ground
I love
game.
her.
She
her
just
control.
don't need to use it.
In and back out of her way. When she's like coming back out of the pocket, she'll do the same kind of like evasive, protective shimmy. And you're sitting there like you're just like she's here and you're punching here and you're tired because you're trying to hit her and she's just almost like you said a little bit like Connor. I gotta admit, like I said before, I mean she's growing on me. She's great. I think the Ronda fight, if it happened a long time ago, I think we all would have known what was up.
Yep.
They knew better.
Yeah.
They knew better, and then to continue using the steroid thing.
This is
that's
one
just,
time I
you're
will
afraid.
say.
Just say you're afraid.
Yeah.
Here's my thing on that
Just
though.
say you're afraid.
When Cyborg made it over 5 pounds, that's when and I still stand by this. Listen, you're going to fight the champ. You lose the weight. She don't lose the weight. Don't be ridiculous, Cyborg. That's when I was like saying no, Cyborg, and I still think that point. That's a ridiculous point. If you're arguing over 5 pounds, she's the champ. It's her division. You're not even in the UFC yet. You can't use that. That's kind of like the Fedor and what was his guy, Vladim there. Then the most mismanaged fighter in all of history. Fedor could have been the greatest. That's a story for another day, though. So, what do you know? In any case,
Well, they didn't even have a division for a Cyborg. They didn't even try to
No, they weren't pumping.
They haven't supported her at all.
no,
And then making her
still
cut to
don't.
140,
Right.
knowing the first time it almost put her in the hospital. In which
Yeah.
case, who was it?
But I think that's
Who was it? They rushed to the hospital and he missed his fight.
which time.
No, this is recently. It was. I think it wasn't a belt on the line.
A bell.
The Russian kid. Not the Russian. He's not.
Oh, Khabib.
Habib.
Okay, she was in worse shape than him. He ran to the hospital.
Oh, I know. I seen that
like,
video
weird.
of that weight cut. That was
weird. And the second one was even worse.
horrible.
Right? They could have been some acting. I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
Cyborg is Cyborg. It is. You get what you see, right?
I
And
don't
then if
know
you
her,
talk
but it
shit,
seems
she
like
comes and
she
wants
would-
to punch you in the face.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's just if I had to guess, like which fighters might or might not cheat or try to get the doctors to let them out of a fight. In my opinion, I don't think Cyborg would do something like that. I know there's fighters out there that be like we talked about before. Oh yeah, my toe, and the doctor says, yeah, if you fight, it's gonna get infected or something, and you're like, oh, then I can't fight. There's no way I can fight.
Yeah.
That happens. I don't see that ever happening with Cyborg.
Something was up with Khabib though, because even Dana said he didn't even go to our team. They took him down to. We could have
He
helped him
got a
maybe
sour
save the
taste
fight,
in
right?
his mouth over the UFC, and I'm not saying people, all the people that say it's because he's afraid of Conor McGregor. I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying something happened in that amount of time, in that same era where he fell out and Conor came up. He disappeared for a lot of different reasons, etc., etc. I understand that happens with fighters. Dominic Cruz, where you fall out of the UFC, you lose your window. Because maybe I'm great. Maybe I'm going to be great for 6 months based on the fights you give me, based on where their windows are, etc., etc. I'm great. Right now, my training's perfect. Everything's perfect. These 2 guys are training me. Everything's perfect. And then I get hurt. And then my window kind of closes. I'm a firm believer in the combat sports of windows. Not everybody has them. Some people are just great and some people just aren't. Other people have windows and they open and close. Chuck Liddell had a window. It closed. Am I wrong? It may reopen again, and I hope it does. But you guys know what I mean. Would you agree?
Yeah, no.
Windows. I'm a
There.
firm believer in that. Like it all goes around training and placement, and this guy got hurt, so now I get the fight and opportunity, etc., etc.
All right. Well, how about this? Chuck had Randy, which elevated Chuck's game. Right?
Yeah. Oh, sure, for sure. Yep.
Don't you think that somebody like Cyborg couldn't elevate their game? It forces them when you legitimize it. If you're really trying to pump women's MMA, it forces them to step up. right? Work
Yeah.
harder, train harder, learn better.
Mhm.
All
And
of a
I
sudden,
say let's pump
we went
women's
from
MMA,
Jose
I love
Aldo to Conor McGregor. Like we thought Jose was unstoppable. That's the best you can be, right? And then Conor comes out and is doing stuff that nobody's ever.
It's easy to say now, but if you go back on, social media, I knew he was gonna beat him. I knew he was gonna. Listen, and look, you can only be the greatest for so long. Whether I like Aldo or not, I can't front on what he did. He was great for a long time, but you get complacent when you're the champ forever. You get complacent. I don't care who you are. I don't care what kind of a Zen master you are. You get complacent in some way or another. And somebody like Conor understands that like a dog can sense blood. And we seen him get exposed just like everybody else in that division. And I'll go to my grave saying he exposed that entire division to work harder and be better. And a lot of them are like, oh, okay, I'll talk more shit. No.
He exposed all of their fears. He was able to identify them because I imagine at one point he must have seen them in himself.
My boy Nate
And he overcame
Diaz.
them. Right. Which that's always going to be a tough fight for him, right?
Dude, Nate Diaz, I mean, look, Nate
God, can you
Diaz
imagine
could
if he
retire
fought Nick?
right now, never fight again, dude, and be bigger than his brother Nick, who is huge. And I love the Diaz's for that, because he came in and he beat the man. Like what? I don't give a fuck.
Honestly, the second fight could have went his way too.
Sure could've.
You know?
Yep.
Take that back.
I think they're gonna fight again.
Take that back.
No.
And I
friggin'
hope they
way.
don't
You
rush
do
it.
not have your gun by you. Take that back.
No way.
Honest to God, he was
No
mounted,
gunfights.
mounted when the bell rang. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Dude,
The first two
I
rounds.
thought
Conor
they
was
were
running.
running.
He
They
was
were
running.
running.
He was running.
He was
He was running.
reserving. He was playing a smart game,
He
right?
was running.
Because he would have gotten finished again if he didn't.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Let's just say that.
Yeah.
No, he said, here's how to beat Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz is a bad motherfucker. In some chances, you might have to back up evasively. I didn't say running. I didn't say
What did he
running.
say? He said that's one tough Mexican or something like that at the end of the
Cholo.
fight. Oh my God. They love each other. You know
They love
I
each
heard
other.
they were partying afterwards the
Yes.
first fight. They were partying together the second fight.
Yep.
They know what they did. He's going to beat Mayweather and he's going to come back, and that Diaz, that's going to be a huge fight.
You got to settle the score now. It's
Yeah.
1-1.
He's talking about
Don't
going
rush it, though.
He's talking about fighting Tyrone Woodley.
Don't rush it.
Rush it. They're
Don't,
both
these
in their
guys are
prime.
young, though. Don't rush it.
No.
Nate Diaz, I've
You
said
never
this
know.
before,
Like
he's
you
gonna
said,
be bigger than Nick.
you never know when he's going to retire. That.
Yep, true.
I mean,
Yeah, and then you don't want to be like the Mayweather coming back 5-ish years out of your game-ish and not being on crisp to fight Khan, who is probably close to done with MMA. And if he is, I don't blame him. What the fuck more you got to do? And all these idiots online, let me talk to all you idiots online real quick. He never defended him. Fuck you. You don't need to. He's bigger than the UFC as a brand. He has marketability. He has brains. I gotta explain this all the time to people online. This is nobody's afraid of anybody. It's proper freaking for me and you. Like if I gotta make money and you want to fight me because you're talking the most shit, but Dustin's the money fight, and Dustin ain't talking any money on me, and nobody really wants to see it, freaking, or vice versa. It's how the shit works. Nobody's afraid.
How about this? You're talking about, remember after he knocked out Eddie, he was telling them to call him, the billionaires. He's going to make them, draw them so much attention and make them so much money when he didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about loyal. He's
Yes.
given up probably half of his paycheck,
exactly.
right? No questions asked. He said, I don't want to do it without him. And don't think he's not going to have a stake in that company.
Oh,
That's
absolutely.
in that contract somewhere. I'm doing
That
you guys justice.
And we all thought it was joking. That was real.
Take the money I make you and give me my shares.
Yep.
You watch. That's gonna. I can't wait
You don't
to
think
hear
when
that
that new
post
company came in, they didn't have a personal sit down with Conor McGregor and maybe a couple other fighters? I'm positive they did.
You know, hopefully by then Joanna gets knocked out.
Who would do
What's
that?
that?
Who
Who's
would
this?
knock her out?
I
Who?
didn't say anything.
Who could knock her
Oh,
out?
actually,
I think so.
my
Name
girl
somebody
Thug
in the
Rose.
division.
I'm
Okay.
going against
Alright.
Johanna in this
Okay.
neck just because I like Rose. I've always have liked Rose.
No, you have always liked Rose.
Her jujitsu is awesome. Her
So-
husband's Pat Barry, so her hands are nice. She knows
So,
she's working
and she's
them all.
teachable. She's always working hard.
Exactly. Her
Joanna, I
jujitsu.
just read another article. I'm number one. I'll continue to prove I'm not. What are you gonna do different than last time? That's what I want to know. Tell me what you're gonna do. People
Why do
people
you
want
have
to
to
see
do anything different?
Ronda Rousey would go out there.
Cause
I'm going to
Ronda
armbar.
Rousey, right there. Why
I'm
do you
going to
have to do
armbar.
anything different?
Why? she's not a one-dimensional fighter like Rousey though.
Yeah, but she's also not finishing people.
But you always got to stay.
Nobody wants to see a decision master. Okay, here's what happens.
Wait,
I can continue running into the
I
storm.
said that about Frankie Edgar and you disagreed. Now you're saying it's okay with her. Not okay with her.
What do you mean? What's okay with
Frankie Edgar, the decision master. Although lately
It's
he's been
not
great.
okay. I can't stand that kid.
Alright, damn
I
it.
hate watching him fucking fight. and to say that, I got punching power, dude. You hit Chad at the end of his nose.
Yeah, true.
He was still fucked up.
And he was out
from
way out.
McGregor. What are
Way
you talking
out.
about right
Yeah.
now? My punching power? Oh,
Yeah.
you still can't beat Aldo.
No.
Nope.
No, most of them can't.
Anybody
beat
who
Aldo.
has the situation, the Jersey Shore VIP every fight, by the way. Gotta scratch my head. I don't.
Alright, I guess we'll move on to the
But I will tell you
Bellator.
who he is better than.
I guess we won't move on.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
No, who's he better than?
No, nobody.
Moving on. Let's give our picks. Anyway,
Yes.
Bellator NYC, they're going to crack a pay-per-view as we spoke of before if there's any flaws in this card, if everybody don't show up. And I'm sure Coker's calling these guys every day with a wellness check. If anybody falls out of this card, it could be a nail in a coffin for them ever doing a pay-per-view again. So all of us fans of Bellator, as myself, let's
Big
hope it
fans.
goes great.
It's gonna go great.
Let's hope it goes great.
You know Sonen's gonna show up for the fight. Silva's gonna show up for the fight. Fedor's gonna. Matrone, he was ready to fight that day. All these guys on this card show up and fight.
All
There's
right,
no
well, let's
excuse.
start. We got our very own Neiman Gracie. He's fighting Marfoni. Obviously,
What's Neiman's record?
4-0.
Is he really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
yeah. He's
And who's
coming
the
up.
other Gracie? Kron. What is he?
Kron.
How's he? Kron?
Yeah.
How's he doing? Is he still undefeated?
He's
might be.
still undefeated.
I like watching studying his stuff, dude. He's taking his father's stuff to
Oh
another
my
level.
God,
they're
Chrome!
awesome.
Don't even get me going on
Oh,
him.
man.
His Abu Dhabi match against Gary Tonin, awesome.
I didn't see how to go.
This was last year.
Yeah.
He ended up Crone won rear naked choke. But
Straight jujitsu. That's how he. That's how
or
he goes
oh
into
my
his
God,
fights.
you want to talk
I'm
about
s-
another?
I'm so happy
Don't
for
get you
Hiron
got me
Crone.
going on Crone.
Hiron
It's him.
and Crone are like keeping.
His
that
Abu
jiu-jitsu
Dhabi
alive
match
and
against
making it
Marcelo
better.
Garcia.
They're revitalizing it for the Gracies.
Unreal.
All Gracies should be
I
proud
mean-
of them.
Well, yeah. Again, we talked about mastering the 3 techniques, right?
Well, his dad
If
is
he was the-
Hickson
if he-
Gracie, so.
if he was to say, I'm going to use traditional and then not win fights using traditional moves, he's finishing his opponents, right? Does he have 11 finishes or any decisions in the MMA? I got to look that up.
Who, Crone?
Yeah, because
no, he has
he's
all
really-
finishers.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. That's why he's bringing it to a new level.
Well, that's like
The
you're always
technique
saying
work.
perfection
Well-
of your technique. You say
Well,
that
look
a lot.
Do it 10,000 times.
Could you see something here? I mean, Elio was Hickson's father. Hickson is Crone's father. I mean, it's only going to get better. I mean, especially coming from, I don't know,
That
Hickson's
bloodline.
considered
Right.
like, for me, Hickson's Helio, you know? I don't know. Hickson just.
And I'll tell you what, he co-collaborated that Eddie Bravo's 10th Planet, but he has the EBI.
Yes.
That's a co-creation of all those. He asked him, remember on the Joe Rogan podcast,
Yep.
I would love to bring you in, and then he brought Eddie in on something that he's involved with too.
Yep.
So
Eddie
again, open
actually
minds.
bought Metamoris too.
Yeah, yeah.
So Eddie's doing his thing.
But
too.
remaining
And
true
paid,
to.
as we said before, it made everybody's paychecks.
And
Yep.
guess what? What did Eddie make the rules in EBI? Finishes.
Yeah.
man. That right there will push people to work harder on their
Yes.
techniques.
That I love
That's
tournament.
awesome,
that
right?
a lot of tournaments nowadays are going by that. Which
You and I
it
have
should
done
be.
many,
Come
many
on.
match is
jiu-jitsu
over when
tournaments.
it's over.
right?
You and I have done so many jiu-jitsu tournaments, and I can just think how different they all would have been if there wasn't for points, if it was someone.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Wow.
Dude's definitely, especially a good wrestler, will point fight you. And
Really elevates-
literally win a tournament
really
like that if they're
elevates
that
jiu-jitsu.
good.
Right.
But it's like, I don't know, jiu-jitsu with me, it's finishes, man.
So I think we're probably unanimous on this, but I'm gonna go ahead with Gracie of submission. I'm gonna think
Yeah.
it's gonna take him around to get Marfoni down. Marfoni's gonna go down in a second.
Submission.
I don't know what, though.
RNC at that, I'm gonna call it.
That's easy enough, I guess. Sure. Moving on, we got the most hidden fight of this entire card, and I don't know why it's hidden. whatever. Still love
It's
Bellator.
because of Phil Davis.
Well,
Champ,
they
champ.
probably wanted a big, because this is going to be on Spike.
Agreed. Great point. Great
So
point.
maybe they wanted a big one.
Phil Davis versus Bader. Now,
Two good wrestlers, that's all I can say.
No.
if Bader comes in and stomps him, it's gonna be like yay Bader.
Davis
But at the
is
same
way,
time,
way better of a wrestler.
Yeah.
oh for sure, he can almost pick him up and slam him. But I
Here's the
think
problem with
Davis
Davis.
is not gonna give it up.
I think Davis ran a clinic on their champ to try to send a message, but he didn't look good doing it.
Yeah.
Because how many submissions did he have on him?
That's
I was in the crowd going,
Right.
geez, another one? Another
Yeah.
submission. And he lets it go.
Yeah.
And then he would switch his position, dominating the entire fight. I get it.
Right.
But that's why you're not the co-main event.
So who do you think?
I think Phil Davis.
I gotta take.
I
don't
like
think
Brian
Davis is
Bader,
gonna
but
give it up.
he's too stiff.
Dude,
I think Davis
yeah,
is going to
his
keep him
movement
out.
isn't
He's
good.
going to keep him out just enough to point fight him to a decision win, and for me that'd
Oh,
be
he'll
good
be
enough.
taken down. No.
Because Bader's not a joke.
He'll be ripping him to the ground.
What do you think? Who you got?
Phil Davis covers
I
ground
got Phil
real
Davis,
fast.
man. I
With
gotta
a
go
lot
with
of
him, but I
power.
think,
Phil-
Bader does have hands, man. If he lands that right, it
Right.
could
Yeah,
be
he's
a
too
night.
stiff though.
Right.
He's
Like
way
I
too
said,
stiff.
if that you always
Don't-
got that
don't forget-
puncher's chance.
Right. Of course.
He covers this. Phil Davis covers this whole entire ground, and he's a light. That guy is huge, by the way, for light heavyweight. He covers,
lanky, he's
and
long.
this is where he's here the entire
Yeah.
time. He's very stiff. That's like night and day watching those two. You're gonna see that fight will be over pretty quick. I think.
Yeah. Great point. Great
Rear
point.
naked choke first round. I don't see Bader going the distance because the pace that Phil sets is ridiculous.
Yeah. And Bader's been around too, man.
Long
He's had,
time.
This is my lock of the week, guys. Have you ever seen me wrong? When I give you fools a lock, you bet on it. Take yourselves to Foxwoods Casino and bet the farm. Brent Primus is going to take Chandler. Doesn't matter the way, he's just going to win. I'm guessing decision, but yeah, that's the lock of the week. Who do you got? Oh, I can tell by your no, you're going to go with Chandler.
I agree
Chandler?
with Chaz.
Okay.
I'm with Chandler too.
Lock of the week, fellas.
Momentum. Remember I told you momentum.
Who are you going to go with? 2 fighters or some sap on a couch? I rest my case.
By the way, did he do you along this past week?
If I did, I'm sorry. Listen, next up, moving right along, Larkin versus Lima. What do you guys think?
Uh,
I could go either way.
it could. I'm gonna go with Lima though. He's
I
just
agree.
been
Me too.
pretty dominant.
Yeah.
Larkin's up and down a lot.
That's the only right. That's the only.
Well-
This one was hard. I thought if gun to head, I would almost took Larkin, but he's his downs and ups, and sometimes he's good, and sometimes he's bad. Though
Well,
right now he's
that
good.
comes down to your opponents, right? So a lot
Certainly.
of times, if you're just one-dimensional,
We'll see
or if
right
you're really
now,
not good
yeah.
at anything, and we talked about this technique-wise, some of these guys, they don't even know how to throw a jab, or if you don't know how to throw a jab, you can't set up the right hand. If you don't know how, that jab can set up everything.
Yeah,
Then you get the inside leg
your
kick
whole
work with the
stand-up's
jab.
based off the jab. You know?
That would change Bader's whole game,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Agree.
It would change Frankie Edgar's whole game. Frankie's right here, and I'm gonna move, I'm gonna do it, and he's doing this, but there's no fluidity. Then you take someone like a Dominic Cruz. That fluidity, when he gets into that motion, people don't understand. And he starts landing. He always lands the hard punch first.
That's
Remember I told
almost
you?
that East Coast style sometimes with
Yeah.
kids. That this one, almost.
I get it. You're in great shape, but conserve your energy, right? Connor's mastered that. And even Tyrone Woodley said, guys, he's mastered the game. Did you see the 5-punch combo that he hit on Eddie at the
He's
end of
always
that
going to
fight?
have his haters, and I think the haters bother us more than him because he could give 2 shits less about his haters as he's looking over his stacks of fucking cash and laughing at us.
I said to
the
my-
man is skilled.
I said to my buddy, I said, who's a fighter?
We're
I said,
gonna get on him,
why do you hate
Connor, plenty in a minute. With
Oh
the
yeah,
big
right. So it's who do you got? Larkin, Lima.
Lima?
All right, so that's it. Pretty much all decisions.
I don't see any decisions on this card.
We're all on the same page so far. Now moving up to the main reason for this card, and let's say, as I keep saying, let's hope nobody pulls out with fucking diarrhea or a stubbed toe. It's gonna happen, bro.
God, poison.
Fedor Mitrione. What do you guys think?
I'm going with the Last Emperor. Laugh.
I think.
I didn't lie. It's
Listen,
great.
if Mitrione comes in there like he did against the Beast,
Vitriol.
problem is Fedor can take a beating. That just might.
Dude.
That might just take all the confidence out of Mitrione. Right?
He can't take a beating anymore.
Yes, he
Excuse
can.
me.
He cannot take a beating anymore.
He got.
The only beating he's gonna be given the beating.
Listen.
I think Mitrione's going night.
No.
Okay.
Damn.
We'll
Don't make me
We'll
change my lock of the week right now.
I think Mitrione's one of the best fighters right now.
He is
In the
hot,
world.
but I
Especially in
think
Bellator, yeah.
What is that supposed to be?
He's been because Bellator is not.
Careful.
I hate saying this in
Careful.
heavyweight too because heavyweight is so deep over there right now.
Okay.
It's just okay. Let's look at it on numbers. How deep is their roster? How deep is UFC's roster? It's less by about 40-something fighters. And if somebody does the math on this and goes on the site and proves me wrong, I'm smacking somebody. But anyway, moving on.
Hold on. All right. It's just like when the WEC was consumed by the UFC. We always looked at the
Great
WEC as being
company.
sub-level.
And then
Those
they
guys
came
came
on
in,
and
and they're still fighting.
I
in
gotta
Yeah.
give it to you. You're so true.
Cowboy,
Yeah.
captured the titles.
Condit, friggin'
Torres,
so
even
many.
Strikeforce.
Aldo,
Strikeforce
Your
was
Uriah
supposed to be
Faber.
sub-level. Hold on. All of our
Brian
heavyweights.
Barnes, Brian Stan.
Most of our heavyweights that are still fighting are from Strikeforce. So I think Bellator is a lot better than what people give off.
Oh, 100%.
Fuck yeah.
If not,
I'm in love with
Fuck
fucking
yeah.
Bellator.
We
right
are
now.
high.
I don't like the way UFC is being run right now. I mean,
Exactly.
Listen, Mitrione's gonna win it though.
I would love to see a Bellator against UFC New Year's Eve.
Oh, that'd be huge.
Well,
kidding
thanks
me.
to Bellator, we're almost seeing it in some ways now.
No, I know.
And I just wanted to clear up something. Last week when I said, I think it was last week, when I said, when you go to Bellator, you gotta fight the old guy. I didn't mean the old in age guy. I meant like their last acquirement from USC is what I more meant. I just wanted to clear that up. Moving on, Mitrione over Fedor. You guys are picking Fedor. I'm picking Mitrione.
No, I picked Mitrione.
Yeah.
Oh, 2-1. All
He's
right.
on his own over there.
Yeah, you're on your own, last Emperor. I've said it. I'll just throw this out there once again. Between management and whatever else, things that we'll never know, his career was mismanaged. A lot of people are going to get on the podcast page and say you're an idiot. You don't know nothing. He's the greatest ever, and they're not wrong. But neither am I.
He never did well against guys his own size.
No, right. You almost had to be a giant, right? In any case, Silva versus Sonnen. I hope this goes down because they were supposed to fight how many years ago now? What, maybe 8, 10 years ago? Maybe was it 7 years ago at least? I don't know. I've lost track of time. But they were supposed to. Let me give a quick story, guys, before you get your picks in. They were in maybe a SUV or something. They were traveling to a show or a media obligation before a while back, and Sonnen had his earphones on, just trying to be freaking block the freaking ride out. There were some other people in the car anyway. Silva's sitting right in front of him, and he's trying to get his attention. Finally, he takes off his earphone as he said, "You said some shit about me, etc., etc." So they have a little freaking altercation in the car. Nothing physical, nothing violent. And since that point on, Sonnen Sonnen kind of talked a lot of shit about him in the public. Not really horrible, not a rant, but just being like, this guy's a fool. A lot of what he was saying was true in a lot of people's opinions. Moving on real quick. They end up on the Ultimate Fighter. They have their little altercation. Literally, I know this is all filmed, but Silva throws this lazy ass punch and then
Double leg.
and then double leg, and Sonnenberg pretty much makes him look like an idiot. I just wanted to get that point out to give us a little background on this card. This was all in UFC. Now we're at Bellator some years later. It's going to go down, hopefully. And what do you guys think?
How about?
I'm going with.
I think he won in the gym.
Who?
I'm kidding.
Oh, so right.
I think Sonnen was dealing with a lot of nerves for the Tito fight. But like Sonnen said, if Tito was the worst fighter in the league, I lost to him. That means I'm the worst fighter in the league. So this is obviously a payday, and Silva's going to try to kill him.
I just don't know if Silva. I think Sonnen's wrestling is just too good for Silva.
Yeah,
if the Sonnen
have
that
to
comes
wrestle.
out that fought Anderson Silva,
He's not.
I mean, he down. You never know with him. Sonnen's
No, you're
up
right.
and down.
You're right. And
I'm
he
going
hasn't been
with him.
fighting a lot.
Yeah.
One
But
he
he's
Silva
been
looks-
staying active. He's been doing the UGI grappling tournaments.
That's true too.
He's staying active. I don't know. I'm going with Sonnen. Silva definitely could win. This could go either way, but
With
my
Sonnen,
I'm gonna go with Sonnen.
Silva has the Vitor bod right now.
I know. Bad. With Sonnen, that is the key to Sonnen, staying active. However, when it's a bunch of hard fights, he loses some of that, like, your resting power. Like, he is a victim of that. I don't know what, it's it's a philosophy of mine, but he's definitely a victim of that. Like, too many hard fights in a row takes him a little few steps down, whereas if he rests for a while, he's kind of stronger. Not like Dominic Cruz, where the more time off, the better, but I think he's going to come in well rested. I think, like you said, the dad bod, I hate to insult the guy. These guys are getting old, and these guys are legends, and they're great, but, I mean, he's you know, he's looking a little underweight, and that may be the difference for Sonnen, but I'm picking Silva, and I don't even really know why. I just think he's the power. You know, I know, we both know when you can clip Sonnen on the jaw, his game plan's out the window. Unless his game plan is to flail around. I don't mean that insultingly.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if Sonnen decides that he wants to beat him, he can beat him several ways. I think Silva can only win by knockout.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Because that's all Silva's going to do. I'm going to come at you and I'm going to try to knock your head off.
Right, right.
That game plan hasn't really changed over the
Since
years.
Since USADA and the suspension, and
He's always.
Silver's body is definitely not.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's touch on this real quick. Did he completely take, why did he? He himself grenaded his UFC career. Why? Did he not want the competition? Was he just bored with it? Did he feel he was being underused, used wrongly? What was the deal? Quick points on that, guys.
Who is this? Silva?
So, and yeah.
Well, he ran away from that drug test, which ruined it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, because I imagine he wasn't given a heads up, because at the time this was fairly new. Even Sonnen said, "What? Come over here in this medic closet. I gotta take your blood, and I'm gonna have you piss in this cup." And he's like, "Are you serious? If you don't, you're suspended. You're done." And he said, to be honest, in Silva's defense, Silva walked into a trap. He didn't know what the hell was going on.
Right.
And he took off running.
Yeah, we see our boy Joe Lozon, not to cut you off, Joe Lozon a lot has posts a lot. Like, yeah, it's 9:30 a.m., fucking USADA just showed up, they're watching me pee. And I like that he's really open about that, because USADA needs to put a negative light on him. Because listen, if that's your way to catch people, you go at their house late at night, you're not trying to catch people, you're just being annoying. Mm-hmm. Can we agree on that?
About the one Tim Kennedy almost killed them once.
Yep.
He seen them driving it. They kept missing his driveway, and the same car was going back and forth. And he went out there with the car.
You don't want to mess with Tim Kennedy.
No.
Listen, he quit the UFC to go back to war. More power to you, brother.
Absolutely.
Have a hard, long life.
That guy he's a true hero.
Be
man.
safe
Yeah.
out there in the
Smart
real
guy,
world,
nice
as
guy.
I say, while we're sitting on this couch, man. I mean, we all do our part. He's out there doing his part, plus a lot of other people's parts. That's man's work. Good for him.
Yep.
In any case, I'm sorry. Who do you got for Silva? Or you got Sonnen?
I got some. I'm going with Sonnen.
What do you think?
Decision.
Decision. I think it's gonna be a TKO. The second round. Silva.
Oh man, I'd love to see Shale catch him in a choke in the sweep.
Arm triangle. He's good
Supposedly-
at those.
That'd be awesome, right?
Tito tapped.
Yeah, supposedly. Listen, right, and instant replay once again. Hey, that's about it. Let's move on to, let's touch on this real quick. It is
Maymac.
signed for my birthday, August 26th.
Woo!
No Money Mayweather versus King of all, King Mac. Now, I just want to touch on this real quick before I give you guys a piece. There's been some leaks of Mac, some leaks. I say this with the quotes because I believe it to be all bullshit in any case, even if it isn't. Listen, if you're looking at internet fights and saying, okay, this is why he's not going to win, you might be a fool. So some footage anyway leaked of him sparring, and it's not so great. It's not so great. It's not so great.
Not so bad either.
But it's
He's eating punches,
Thank
but he's
you.
not getting knocked down.
right,
Knocked out.
Exactly.
It's not that bad. And where do we know where in the sparring is this? And hey, listen, a lot of times in sparring, you might just be like, hey, just work on your backup and work on we don't know
That's
what
exactly
exactly what they're working on.
That's exactly what Big Brown was saying on his podcast. That's fake. Like, you can't even look at that and judge that.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're not boxing or fighting like Mayweather. It's a different.
Right.
Those guys are tougher.
Especially when you're fast like
They're
Mac.
boxers, and this is what my honest opinion. I think that he's gonna go in there Conor's going to go in there and he's going to, it's going to appear to be humiliate Mayweather, and I think it's going to change the world as far as boxing and MMA, because boxers need to realize that MMA guys are on another level of mental toughness and fortitude and expansion of learning all these different arts, and then you're dealing with somebody who has mastered them, and he brought you out of retirement. That's the universe telling Mayweather there's something here. Mayweather doesn't know quite what it is yet.
Exactly right.
He's got enough money.
I can't say there's
something
enough.
else that he's going.
There's
who's that and what's up with that, and now we're having a culmination of boxing and MMA, where you're going to see martial arts applied to this fight.
I understand the heritage of boxing, and listen, boxing is what originally got me into the combat sports, but boxing is traditional boxers will totally disagree with me, and they're totally not wrong, but boxing, at least now, is a piece of MMA. So it's a part of MMA. So for me to say Mayweather versus McGregor, oh, McGregor's going to get destroyed. Is he? He's a fucking great fighter. He's a great boxer. Now, I get it that boxing, traditional boxing fans, it's one thing, you're punching. You're punching and you're bobbing and weaving. There's a lot more to it. I know, and Chaz could go on for 3 hours of all the nuances, as could you, of boxing. But basically, you're moving around and you're punching. That's it. And I'm not lessening the sport. It's very hard. I can guarantee it's hard. MMA is that plus a whole bunch of other different things, and the boxing fans need to understand that.
And remember, it's the most mental toughness. So when you first get in a wrestling room, it's hot. All of a sudden, these guys are they're wrestling with you and they're pushing you past your limits where you want to throw up, you want to quit. You just can't wait till that bell rings, and they push you further. Then you do it with boxing, where somebody's actually pounding on you, right? You're getting tired. All of a sudden, the shots to the midsection are coming. Keep your hands up. Instruction, and you go through this until you can get in there. Now you're the guy delivering the shots, right? You're the guy out wrestling. Then you go to grappling, and you got to learn to do this 1,000,000 times. Until you can get guys doing this.
Absolutely.
To you, right? Then you're gonna transfer over. You're gonna add some kickboxing. Which changes the boxing style up, right? Shin conditioning the body alone is torturous. So that when McGregor goes on there and he throws those 1,000,000 kicks. It's all right here, man. It's such his mentality going into that fight is just like when a karate guy walks into a mixed martial arts room and decides to challenge one of the guys in there, and he says to the mixed martial artist, you know, what do you guys? Anybody want to spar? And we go, I don't know, you guys. What do you want to do? Do you want to eliminate wrestling? We'll just do. No, you guys do whatever you want. And then you dump them on their head, and they're like,
so true.
That's what's gonna happen to Mayweather.
Right.
It's not that he's going to get dumped in his head. But shifting into a punch is a lot different than standing in front of him. It's going to be night and day when McGregor covers that ground. Do you remember how much ground he covered against Jose before Jose engaged?
I think
I was like, holy crap, he touched him.
The simplest way to break it down is this fight is going to, and this is not an insult, this comes down to 100% reality. The only way Mayweather is going to avoid him is to completely avoid him. Listen, it's like this. And this is not an insult. Do your homework, people. Watch Mayweather fights. Watch McGregor fights. It's simple. Mayweather punches for points. Conor punches for your consciousness. It's the truth. Watch the fights. So now it comes down to, can McGregor catch him? I believe he can, because Conor has footwork like nobody's ever seen. I speak on it all the damn time.
How about finishes?
I agree. A lot of people, especially ball sport analysts, trying to, talk the fight game.
Skip Bayless or whatever that fucking
No,
idiot's
Skip
name
Bayless is all
is,
for Conor.
but I hate his opinions on everything else. He is, though. This one time, he is all for Conor.
But Colin Cowherd,
That
all
idiot
them
too,
guys.
You're going to see the boxers defend the boxers.
They just don't know.
Right.
They
And
don't watch
unfortunately,
UFC.
The boxers stick together. The UFC guys, the MMA guys, are all dogging Conor.
Oh, of course. Well, they
What
want
the
to see
hell?
him fail.
Stand
Obviously.
behind your fucking guy, because he's about to change the game.
A lot of people are, though.
That
too.
means you're talking about boxing money coming into MMA. This is a game changer.
And listen, if there's one freaking chunk of revenue that's been huge, even after the fucking Don King era, it's boxing. They bring in lots of coins.
And nothing for nothing, but he said eventually either get off the ship or get on for the ride.
Yeah.
I'm changing the game. He said that a long time ago. When he lost to Nate Diaz, they were all clowning him. He's like, I took you from 45,000 to $500,000.
Red panty night.
And he said to Nate Diaz, how does it feel to be a millionaire after one fight? I want to hear thank you.
Yeah.
Not, tearing him down. He made deals where everybody on the card made that much more money just to be on the card with him.
Renan Barão was the second coming. The UFC couldn't. They masturbated as they talked about how great Renan Barão was, and McGregor went out there and foiled him. Everybody he fought. All right, let's get off McGregor. He's the best. We love him. I love him. I can't help it. And this isn't gushing.
You're talking
He's
about
not,
Diego Brando.
He's not. Pardon me. Yeah, he's not affiliate of the show. He doesn't pay me. I love him. He's great. It's because he's skilled. I enjoy skilled people. I enjoy skilled fighters.
Every fighter could learn from the techniques that he uses in training. That's it.
Right.
If he can do it, you guys all can do it. Promise you that. That's what he
Right.
said. I'm giving you the blueprint, which
Follow.
Mayweather gave to him, right?
Although we're not actually huge fans of Matt Hughes. Apparently he was involved in, whatever details. I guess Dustin brought some new details. Apparently his pickup truck collided with a train in some way, shape, or form. That's kind of bizarre. So Google that, guys. Check that out. See what's up. Whether you liked him or you didn't like him.
Great fighter.
He was
He
a
had
great wrestler.
He had his window.
He had his window. There you go. He did have his window. The one thing, and not to insult the man, but the one thing I liked about, the only thing I've ever liked about BJ Penn was that he choked him out. That's the one thing BJ ever did. I love him
Beat
for.
him both times he fought him, didn't he? Knocked him out the second time.
No, he didn't.
Knocked out Matt Hughes.
No,
Yeah.
beat him once.
No, he beat him twice.
Damn it.
Guys, he hopped on him in the first minute and finished Hughes. That was like one of BJ's last great fights.
Yeah, okay.
You remember?
No,
Think back.
I'm stuck on
See?
my damn choke out right now.
Think
In
back.
any case, that's about going to do it for this edition of the Boisvert MMA Roundhouse. Chaz, what do you got for us? What do you got to say? Who's out there?
12 tattoos. Steve Taft,
The man.
the man.
I think we
The
all
man.
know who
Pride
he is.
Center.
Great artist. Phenomenal artist.
Let's give a shout out to our
Everyone down there
Hell
had
yeah.
12 tattoos.
Yeah.
Tommy Slocum, all of them.
Slocum. Tommy Slocum is putting out some awesome work. Wow, I have no Tommy Slocum. I don't even have no Steve Deft work, unfortunately. My tattoos are about as old as freaking most children out there right now. I got to get some new ones, and if I do, those are two guys I would love to get some tats from.
I think actually Tommy's doing.
Tommy's booked
over
a
the
year
next-
out right now.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I
That
think
fool does some
he's
great work.
handpicking what he's gonna do, right? That's how much work that kid is a workhorse.
Right.
Great dad, great family man, great friend. Tommy.
Great
I
artist
see him on
in general.
Facebook. I
His
see the pictures of his
paintings-
family and
His
stuff.
paintings are
Paintings
awesome
are
too.
book.
And that's what it's all about when you're a great artist. I mean, and there's
Well,
a
pretty
whole
much
other step
anybody
to
in
that.
there.
Can you run a machine?
Really?
Oh, shout out to Dawn Whitman. We're having a benefit for her. I think it's July 29th or the 30th. I'll get the details. She has stage 4 cancer, so, and she's been fighting it. If anybody follow her, always send out nothing but love. Not
Positive vibes.
Listen,
Keep
cancer's
it
a
positive.
reality. As you all know, I have several family members fighting it right now, and all we can do is hope for good news, because there is whether there is a cure or not, the government's not going to let us know. So without getting too deep into that, that's just about going to do it for today. Dustin, who do you got to talk to? Who do you got to shout out to? My boy.
Motorsports Nation. Go
Oh,
down
yeah.
there, get a bike.
Get a bike.
Any
Get a
of it.
Grom. They're fucking awesome, dude. Get a Grom. Get a car. Get anything. Motorsports Nation will help you out. I know a guy down there.
Motorsports Nation.
Okay, fellas. Boisvert MMA
Bill
Roundhouse.
Porter. Go see Bill Porter about cars. He's got the best deals. He'll be anyone's price. He's a great guy.
Best deals around. And whenever you can, keep it local. If you're not local to us, keep it local to you. Over and out.
what I did was my way. This is not how I imagined my life. This is not